Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to another Cajun toy review. And today we're going to be looking at Neca Toys Dungeons and Dragons Grimsword Ultimate Action Figure. Evil Ultimate Action Figure. And yeah, this is the second one in this wave that we're going to be looking at. We have reviewed Warduke, and we're going to cross our fingers that we have better luck with this figure. But God, he looks awesome. This dude looks really cool. Loving that art on the front. And yeah, I'm really excited that everything goes well. But looking at the box, we can see Grimsword on the back. He has very snake-themed weapons and stuff like that. Snake shield, this crazy-looking sword, and a snake mace. Looks a lot of fun. And yeah, we can see Grimsword in there. It's a big old figure, boy. And you can see all the different accessories. Got several hands, a huge sword, and yeah, looking awesome right there with the mace. Dungeons and Dragons on top, Grimsword, you can see on the bottom. Yeah, not much else to say. Gonna go ahead and maybe we're gonna heat this guy up too. We're gonna get it all ready for you. But yeah, we're gonna take a look at the accessories and then take a look at the figure. Okay, so now we're gonna take a look at the accessories that come with Grimsword. And like most NECA Ultimate figures, there's a lot. It's mostly hands, but it's some cool stuff here. And let's start with the hands, because, yeah. So, Grimsword has these two kind of... Wait, oh, I mixed them up. These two grabbing hands. You can see these are done in plate armor style. A lot of rivets on there. And it's got this really nice, like, scraped up chrome effect on there. It looks like these things have seen some action. But yeah, these are grabbing hands. Really more open because everything is pretty much too big. I mean, the hand's pretty much too big for that. So you could do it with the shield. If you want to put the shield in there and use that to grip, that works. But yeah, these two are throttling. You know, you got yeah, that's what. But yeah, these are his kind of most open hands that you're going to get. Then you have these two hands, and these are both pointing, both very menacing pointing gauntlet hands. Yeah, you don't want this big old dude pointing at you, singling you out. But also trigger fingers, or not trigger fingers, gripping hands too. So we can take our snake mace. That's fun to say. And just slap that in there. That's a good hand to hold, but not the only one. Alright, then you have, of course, fisted gauntlet hands. Okay. There's a lot of things in life that I will never want to happen to me. One of them is being punched by a gauntlet. Yeah. So brass knuckles, and then there's just solid knuckles. And these are pretty big. All these are hinged. All these are stiff. And then lastly, we have these gripping hands. And yeah, you can see much more closed, no pointing fingers in there. These are ideal for holding the sword. And I had not loosened that up enough. You have to try that. Or the mace. Snake mace. That is the perfect hand for a snake mace. Okay. So yeah, 4 sets of hands, 2 pointing, 2 open, 2 fisted, and 2 grasping. Now let's take a look at this shield. This thing is crazy. Big old snake face on there. I love the scratches and the wear on there. This thing has seen some battle. It's got 2 leather straps, unlike Warduke, where it was a plate and then leather. So that's a little bit more pliable, a little bit more easy to pose. And this thing is thick. Look, this is an adult finger. And there's just like a shield. That thing is a solid piece of plastic right here. And it almost feels like it's carved out of wood. It's solid. I mean, all right, and then we have his sword. This is a big old sword. I don't know if it has a special name or not. It doesn't have any cool flame effects or anything like that, like we saw with Warduke, but it is massive. This thing is freaking cut a man in half. This is like when I play Monster Hunter. This is my class I use right here, and this can be holstered in on his side. He's got the snake tail, and you can just put the sword in there like that. I'm 100% not sure if that's where it's supposed to go, but that's where mine's going, because he doesn't have any other spots for the sword on there. And he's going to be carrying his mace and the shield. His sword's going to be right there. I mean, that looks like it belongs there. I think it's on the box. We'll verify that. And then lastly, snake mace. So yeah, this thing looks great. Got a snake with his tongue sticking out. And then a real metal chain going to this beat up mace. Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden. Is that the right word? Yeah, this thing is freaking awesome. Go smash Richard Simmons. Where is he at? But yeah, really cool weapons for this guy. So, enough about that. Let's take a look at the figure. Alright, and real quick, we have our Grimsword up to a couple of different figures just for size comparisons. You can see him right next to Warduke, and he is actually much taller than Warduke. The horns, yeah, they're about the same, but like body size and everything, so that Grimsword is much bulkier and bigger. Think about the mountain in Game of Thrones. That's kind of how he's built, man, like a brick house. And of course, Richard Simmons from Neca as well, another 7-inch figure. We got little Driz looking like a little tiny dark elf. Hey, that's exactly what he is. And then we got the Neca Predator, and that's a pretty tall figure as well. So you can definitely see that Grimsword is a big boy, and man, just a solid figure overall. So, what do you guys think about the scale wise? I think it's about right for him and Warduke. I'm familiar with Warduke a little bit from the D&D stuff, but man, even looking at the old D&D book, I couldn't really find much on Grimsword. So if you know better, let me know in the comments. And just again for comparison, because I just want to get across that this is such a big figure. Again, we're going to look at some comparisons. We got Marvel Legends Gambit, the Man, the Raging Cajun. Again, Warduke, because this is probably the one that most people are going to have with him. Again, to see Gung Ho from the G.I. Joe Retro Classified line, and Shao Kahn from the Mortal Kombat McFarlane line. And man, Shao Kahn actually is taller than him, and that's really telling. That's a really good figure. I think that Shao Kahn is very underrated. But yeah, anyway. There's a couple good comparisons for you, and I'm slopping the camera all around. Again, you can see that Grimsword is a big boy, and not only is he big, he got some girth. He's thick, boy, thick from the south, eating some Cajun food. But anyway, all right. Lastly, friends, let's take a look at Grimsword, the figure. And yeah, this is a solid piece of plastic right here. Very awesome. Let's hope it doesn't break through this review. We're so close to the finish. Man, there's so much detail on this figure, just on the texturing and everything, stuff like that. The chainmail, all these cool spikes and everything going on. The snake is scaled. The armor feels really good. I really actually like this figure. I wish I was more familiar with him. If anybody got a link or anything for stuff about him, because I was at the library yesterday and I picked up the big old D&D book, like the one that's like this thick, that you can assault someone with. It's so heavy. And I looked through it and they had nothing about him in that book. I found Warduke, but not much about him. I was going to actually get it and have it for this review to kind of have some more information for you, but it just wasn't there. Sorry, friends. But yeah, looking at this figure, let's take a look at this guy. You can see he's got some really cool red eyes. And when you look at him at up close, there's some yellow in there. Makes him look even more badass. Look at them pupils. That is not what you want to see in the dark. And he's got these really interesting horns or spikes protruding out of his helmet. I'm going to call them, I can see it, there's some handlebars. But yeah, this really cool mohawk going on there. Just look at that side profile. This thing is menacing. And look at the rivets and the scales. I mean, as much crap as I was disappointed. I love Warduke. I would not lie to you. I love that figure, but I was just so disappointed with how broken it is. I'm really enjoying this guy. And I will get another Warduke, like I said. Look at the texturing right here. And then, of course, this whole snake motif that comes around the body. Wraps all around, and it's all scaled. It all feels amazing. And then it comes that little tail, which I showed earlier. You can actually put the sword there. This guy's very non-symmetrical, with like spikes and everything sticking out of him. His knee pads aren't even. These elbow pads are nice spiked. Oh man, that is the elbow drop of death. Yeah, I like detail, all the wear in there, the scratching and stuff like that. Coming around, got this nice little back piece, and this is all cool looking right here. This looks really awesome. Looks kind of like a quarter owls going on right there. The leather bands holding the gauntlets together, that is such cool detail in there. And you can actually see the silver for the buckles. Fantastic, guys. I like it a lot. Coming down to the knees, and here we come with two separate knees. They look different. I mean, obviously different. Got a snake head on one and a spike. Is there another snake? No, I know better. And again, look at the straps on the boots right here. That looks freaking awesome. Some rivets in the side. Got rivets in there. And oh yeah, these actually look like some Big old plate boots, man. Little spikes on the back. Yeah, this is a bad boy. Now, how much can this bad boy move? Let's take a look. It's probably not too much. We know Neca, but this is a figure you can put on the shelf and you're going to put some stuff in his hand. You're not going to really do crazy dynamic poses, but for the sake of it, let's see what we can do. And cross your fingers, he don't break. So looking up, about that much. Down, yeah, not about that much. You can fully rotate the head if you wish, and the neck is on a separate piece. You can see that moving independently right there with the nice chainmail underneath. Let's take a look. You see that? That looks good. And we have a full arm rotation on this side with a bicep. That ain't going to turn all the way. Single jointed elbow with a hinge like that. Rotation, Neca, you know what we're talking about. Rotation and flex at the wrist. This arm is not going to move all the way with this big shoulder pad sticking out right there. That is not going to happen. We do have the bicep swivel, same length on that side. Single jointed elbow, seems a little tighter on this side. Flex and rotation, flex at the wrist. Ab crunch. Don't think it's going to happen with that big old snake. Nope, snake is not letting it happen. But we can rotate the waist. It's a pretty good split for my boy right now. Oh, and put that leg back into place. Hide that unsightliness. You can single jointed knee with rotation, Neca style. That looks pretty good. I like the chainmail underneath the knee pad right there. Wow, look at that detail. And that kind of sticks out. That is awesome. Same thing here. Rotation and single jointed knee. We got the rotation and pivot at the ankles and peg holes at the bottoms of big old feet. Bro, you did good today, man. You did not break. You have got my thumbs up. So yeah, what I think about this figure, I think he's pretty damn awesome. He's a big, massive, dark knight, and I like it a lot. He comes with some really cool weapons, man. This freaking snake mace is king, man. Look at that thing. That is awesome. What do you guys think about this figure? Let me know in the comments. What other Dungeons and Dragons figures would you like to see them make and stuff like that? I want to see a really well done NECA version of the animated cartoon series. I know they're coming out now. I think Hasbro's making them. I hadn't paid that much attention to them because they're not detailed enough or big enough for me to collect at the moment. If I see them on clearance, I'm snatching. But at the moment, not enough for me to get. But what other figures would you like to see? And if you like this one, if you like this review, please leave a like, drop a comment, consider subscribing if you already haven't. If you want to see more reviews like this and other figures and stuff like that, join the channel. We probably do multiple videos a week. Not yet every day, but I'm trying to get back to that point. Shorts and everything else in between. If you want to find more of me, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just search for Cajun Toy Review. If you also want to hear more from me, you can listen to the podcast 2 Old Cajuns Nerd Out from my boy Cajun Towboater. And that's about it. I don't think anything else. So thank the toy gods. He is in one piece. The video is done. He can go on the shelf. And a fixed War Duke will be joining him soon. These are two great figures, guys. I hope this review possibly changed your mind on it if you were on the fence about it. I still think they're awesome. Even though a little issues with that, overall, extremely pleased. So, as always, thank you so much for watching, guys. See you in the next video. Take care of yourself.